Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So
That's
I
my
love to use that example because if I ask you, tell me about your childhood, most people respond just as you did. They respond in like where they lived, what type of city or what type of home they had. They might describe relatives they've lived with. But the question is so broad, it's hard to know what to share. But when I ask you sound or smell, you immediately went to your mom's cooking, and then you can mention dishes, and you probably could tell me 10 stories about different meals your mom cooked or how what you shared as a family. And so story ideas come from constraint. When you're having a hard time coming up with where can I find ideas, how do I get started with this, you want to put constraints in place. Like instead of tell me about your childhood, tell me about a sound or smell that reminds you of home. It makes it that much easier for your brain to say, oh, okay, well, here's 10 different ideas with that. When people are struggling to come up with ideas, it's because it's too broad, too blank a canvas, and you want to think about your professional experiences and maybe positive moments or frustrating moments. If you want to share personal experiences, there's so many adventures or mistakes or things that we have had that are interesting there. Perhaps you love visiting museums or traveling to different places and you have stories from those adventures. When you start to break it down and put constraints in place, you realize there's endless ideas. So the first time you start to build this list, it's a little slow, but as you start to generate ideas, more and more come. And once you get that habit going, you'll move through the world and notice something and immediately think like, oh, that's a really good idea for a story. Let me write that down.
Beautiful.